Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I am Ryan Bowden. Thank you all for joining me. So the first AI-generated beauty contest is going to be taking place May the 10th, I believe. Yeah. According to this article that I'm about to read to you guys, an attempt to show you a couple of photos of what might perhaps be AI-generated beauty models, there's going to be an actual AI beauty contest come May the 10th. Yeah, okay. Now, before everyone gets all like, oh my God, AI is taking over, which, we're going to get into in detail in this article. As I read the article, you're going to find out exactly what these tech companies are actually, that create this AI are actually trying to do. You're going to see behind the scenes here in a little bit. But I'm going to attempt to show you guys a couple of photos of this as we go on. But yeah, this is what's going on. Yeah. This is the world we live in right now. This is the world we live in. An article starts off: the world's first ever artificial intelligence beauty pageant, Miss AI, is set to take place this May with prizes totaling over $20,000. Judges will be looking at AI generated contestants, quote, beauty, tech, and social clout when determining the winners of the Miss AI Beauty pageant, according to the World AI Creator Awards. Contestants will be judged on some of the classic aspects of pageantry, including their beauty, poise, and their unique answers to a series of questions like, quote, if you could have one dream to make the world a better place, what would it be? Wow. And WAICA, which I just mentioned, the World AI Creator Awards, said of the beauty components to the virtual contest. And let me attempt to show you guys a couple of pictures here. One, and I'm not sure if this is AI generated or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if what I'm about to try to show you guys is AI generated or not. One is clearly AI generated, and the other may or may not be. But here's one. Let me see if you guys can see it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, looking at that at first glance, hopefully you were able to see some of it. That's a very attractive lady. But I'm not sure if that's the AI generated one or not. Why would you, I'm going to assume it is AI generated, because why would you show this if it's not some kind of AI generated photo? And then I'm going to show you guys the other one. Let's see here. Now this one is obviously AI generated. Okay, you can tell that's AI, right? You can tell that's AI. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the one I showed you before, it's not really clear, but if it is, I would not be surprised at the ability of these AI creators to create something so realistically. But let's go on. Let's go on here. With regard to tech, quote, contestants will earn points for their skill and implementation of AI tools used to create their digital masterpieces, including uses of prompts, and their output and visual detailing around hands, eyes, and backgrounds, the awards program said. So what this is saying here is not talking about the actual AI creation itself, but the people who are able to create these AIs will be awarded for these different categories. So it's not they're going to give money and awards to actual AIs, but the content, the creators themselves are going to be rewarded for this. But I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think that may entail, how that's going to be a problem, and what I think personally that these tech companies are actually trying to do by awarding these AI creators with money and prizes. The article goes on to say AI creators' social clout will be accessed based on their engagement, number of fans, rate of growth of audience, and how utilization of other platforms such as Instagram, WAICA added of the social cloud category. The AI creator behind the contestant crowned Miss AI will take home a total of $13,000 worth in prizes, which breaks down into a $5,000 cash prize, thanks to FanView, the subscription-based platform that hosts virtual models, $5,000 worth in PR support, and $3,000 worth in access to Imagine Education's mentorship program. Very interesting. The runner-up will receive $2,500 worth in PR support, a $2,000 promotional package courtesy of FanView, and $500 worth in access to Imagine Education course. The third place winner, meanwhile, will receive $1,000 worth in PR support, $500 promotional package courtesy of FanView, and $500 worth in a consultancy call with Imagine Education. So you kind of get what they're doing. You kind of get what they're doing by awarding these AI creators. I think you probably see that. The AI-generated winners will be announced on May 10th, which will be followed up with an online award ceremony set to take place later in the month. A WAICA spokesperson told Forbes, quote, "This isn't about beauty in the stereotypical sense. It's about championing," here's the point they're saying, "it's about championing artistic creative talent and the beauty of creators' work." As Breitbart News reported, AI has been seeping into everyday life in various ways. In one eyebrow-raising example, AI developers are creating romantic chatbots to serve as AI girlfriends and boyfriends for lonely people. Wow. You literally need an AI because you're lonely. You're so lonely you need a robot. But people are actually like that. I mean, this world and our country have become so separated and distant. But anyway, they are girlfriends and boyfriends for lonely people and are therefore able to harvest an entirely new set of data from unsuspecting users, as the bots collect details far more personal than a typical app. Two influential Japanese companies, meanwhile, are warning that, quote, social order could collapse, end quote, in the new AI era as they call for new laws to restrain the technology, end of article. No kidding. New laws to restrain. I don't think that's going to happen. Because first, I don't think that's going to happen because it's tons of money to be made. What really matters here, to a large extent, in my opinion, is what the public wants. Now, I hear a lot of outbursts and outcries among the general public that are scared of AI, especially among celebrities, actors and so forth, and musicians who are really upset about this AI taking over their life and so forth and taking money basically from them, which is a fair argument. And I hear to some extent other people, just regulars, that are crying out against this AI, what they consider to be AI invasion, which I also believe to be the situation as well. But here's what I think. It won't really even matter because people are so obsessed with technology. All this so-called fear of AI taking over doesn't matter because people are generally obsessed with technology. They love technology. They love it. And if something looks real like that, they're going to get, I believe, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, they're going to end up submitting to it. They're going to end up giving in to it. Whether this is going to be this AI-generated beauty contest and awarding these people, they're going to end up eventually giving in to it because it's going to be so awe-inspiring, so spectacular, and so realistic that it's going to be hard to resist. And unfortunately, because the vast majority of people in our country, in America, and I'm using America because America's where I am, unfortunately, a vast majority of people in America have been their intelligence have been decreased. They don't read anymore. All they do is spend most of that must be realistic. Most of the time people spend is mostly on the internet or on their phones, their smartphones. Most people in our country do not read. When you're constantly on the internet, when you're constantly watching your smartphones on the internet or watching your smart television, the alpha waves are flowing from that and from these items flowing from the TV, flowing from your smartphone. There are alpha waves, which are brain waves, are flowing from these items that we have, these AI items, because basically they're AI, okay? And these alpha waves and I'm speaking scientifically here. This is scientific fact. The alpha waves are flowing from these items, and they're putting us in a light, or putting people rather, in a light hypnotic trance state. It makes them feel relaxed. It makes them feel good. And that relaxed feeling and that feeling of feeling good and relaxed and calm is not because you're watching a movie that's so good, or you listen to a song that's so good, or you're watching something on Facebook or whatever, or YouTube that's so good that you just absorb with it. Okay, that's not merely it. It's the alpha waves that put that person in a semi hypnotic state. It calms them down. They're really in a trance state, a lightweight trance state. And if you're in a lightweight trance state and this AI that you're watching is making you feel good, almost like a drug. In fact, I was reading one source states it calls it eye dosing. And I'm not going to go into the detail of that, but they call it eye dosing, which has to do with the amount of alpha waves that are flowing from the TV or your smartphone or your smart TV that flows from these items that connects to the neurons in your brain. Actually, when you stop watching the smart TV and you stop watching your smartphone or whatever, if you've been watching the TV and watching your smartphone for a long period of time and then you stop, it's almost like you've just been taken off of drugs. You feel funny. You feel like, man, wait a minute. You feel like you're in a dream state. You know, that could be, according to this source, almost like a drug. And what this source is arguing with the concept of eye dosing is that watching these smart TVs and our smartphones and so forth, and being dug into these things for hours at a time, hours at a day, basically releases certain chemicals like dopamine and so forth in our brain that gives us this feeling of euphoria. And then when we stop all of a sudden, for whatever reason, we feel like it's a withdrawal, almost like drugs. Like, man, I got to get my hit. I got to get my hit from my Facebook. I got to get my hit from YouTube. I got to get my hit from my phone or whatever, you know. And when you get plugged back in, it gives you that same feeling. It's almost like a drug. And so what's my point? Hey, look, I'm just quoting to you what these researchers have said. Look, that's all I'm saying. And I believe it, really, okay, because I see it and I've experienced it. But let me make a comment on this whole idea of these AI creators being awarded for creating these AIs, you know, these beauty figures that's going to be a part of this new brand new, if you will, you know, all over the world beauty contest. What I believe they're doing is this. They're saying, okay, people are fearful of AI. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pay AI creators. People are good at it. We're going to pay them a substantial amount of money, right, to create these AI figures. Because long as money is involved, then see, because money talks. Let's be realistic. Money talks. So as long as money is involved, we're going to give them a substantial amount of money to help promote their artistic talent. And I'm not saying that, and let me add on to that, I'm not saying that creating these AI figures doesn't involve any art. I'm pretty sure it involves many, many hours of art. You got to know what you're doing to be able to create these kind of AI imagery, you know, to make them look so realistic. Like the two images I showed you, one that seemed apparently an AI figure. The second one, and the first one didn't seem like that. It looked like it was a real person, you know. Yeah, we want to pay these people this amount of money. You know, we're going to pay them to promote their artistic abilities, okay? But what I see happening here is a dangerous trend. Because what it seems to suggest to me is that these tech companies and so forth are going to and not only tech companies, but the movie business, the book publishing business are going to get swamped with AI generated concepts and are going to eventually reject the classical traditional writers and classical traditional actors and singers in lieu of the AI generated singers, the AI generated actors, and the AI generated writers. And I think I read that somewhere. Actually read that somewhere. Yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen here. I think that there's a bigger overall plan that's taking place. And let me summarize the video on this note here. You see this book behind me here? Some of you may be able to read it to some degree, but the first portion you're probably not able to see. The title is Summoning the Demon. It was written by a Christian man by the name of Tom Horn. He died a few months ago. Been around for many, many decades. Highly prolific. The man it was brilliant. And he wrote that book and he gave it that title, Summoning the Demon. What's interesting is that the book, let me put it like this. The book is about the takeover of AI. The phrase summoning the demon is a phrase that Tom Horn used or borrowed from Elon Musk, who made a statement about AI. And we all know that Elon Musk is helping to push AI, but he understood himself and understands himself the dangers of AI taking over and merging into the singularity, okay? But he stated that if we're not careful, and I'm paraphrasing Elon Musk's terms, if we're not careful, it will be like summoning the demon. And he used the phrase summoning the demon as a metaphor of saying that AI, if we're not careful and we don't create some kind of regulations, AI will take over our lives and eventually destroy us. Think about the Terminator, folks. Think about the Demon Seed that came out in 1977. I don't know if anyone ever heard of that. The Demon Seed, that movie was terrifying. Came out in 1977 by a computer that takes over, an AI computer takes over a house and locks this woman inside the house. She can't get out. And I don't want to give away all the movie, but this computer does something to her. And then she ends up, anyway. Check the movie out. It's called Demon Seed, 1977, 1978. Anyway. Yeah. So that's what I think is going to happen here with this AI situation here, with this beauty contest. I think that the tech companies and so forth and the powers that be are saying we want to pay these people to promote, to encourage their artistic expression. But I think the purpose is to take over all the institutions that are accustomed to traditional concepts and ideas. We're going to pay these people to express their artistic talents through AI-generated platforms. Give them that money because money talks. Yeah. But this is crazy. The first AI-generated beauty contest. Let's see how this pans out. Let's see how this works out, And let me say something real quick on the idea of these, chat bots and so forth for lonely men and women. I mean, that's just so sad. Let me sum the video up on this note that we have become so separated from one another that we need robots to fill the time. We need robots because we're so lonely. But the question is, why are we lonely? Why are so many people lonely? I believe in part of the reason why so many people are lonely now is because computers and technology have caused us to be separated from each other. We love technology more than we love people. We love communicating online more than we love communicating in person. I see this all the time with couples, if you want to call them couples, walking down the street, male or female, walking down the street. I see this quite often. One or the other will be talking to the other, but the other will be on their phone. And I'll be wanting to walk up to them and slap the phone out of their hand. Dang, knock my phone out. I'll be wanting to slap the phone out of their hand and say, why don't you pay attention to your boyfriend? Why don't you pay attention to your girlfriend? They're talking to you. They're not talking to the phone. Pay attention to them. But we've been so brainwashed with technology, we don't know how to communicate with each other anymore. And that leads, in my opinion, to loneliness. So now these tech companies are capitalizing off of our loneliness and saying, well, let's create our AI-generated chatbots to fill that void. Summoning the demon. I'm just saying. But that's what I had to say about it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.